Hello everyone, this is Abhishek and I welcome all of you to my channel. Today we will discuss about the Italian neorealism. Italian neorealism is one of the major cinematic movements that had a major impact on world cinema and influenced filmmakers around the world. I hope this video will help you to understand about the Italian neorealism movement in cinema. The term neorealism, which directly translated to new reality or new realism, sprouted in the wake of Second World War in Italy. Neorealism signified a trend in art and film that aimed to provide insight into the contemporary Italian society of 1940s. The films associated with Italian neorealism are focused on showing Italy removed from fascist influence. In 1937, Benito Mussolini founded Cinecittà, a massive studio that operated under the slogan, "The cinema is the strongest weapon." The purpose of the studio was to produce propaganda films for the Italian state. But during the war, it was bombed by Allied forces and nearly entirely destroyed. With the fall of Mussolini's fascist government in 1943 and the end of World War, filmmakers had to find new way to produce their stories. Many directors chose to shoot their films in the streets with low budgets and amateur actors. Neorealism movement was characterized by stories set amongst the poor and working class, filmed on location, and frequently using non-professional actors. Italian neorealism films mostly contend with the difficult economic and moral conditions of post-World War II Italy, representing changes in the Italian psyche and condition of everyday life, including poverty, oppression, injustice, and desperation. Neorealism preferred location shooting rather than studio work, as well as the grainy kind of photography associated with documentary newsreels. While it is true that for a while the film studios were unavailable after the war, neorealist directors shunned them primarily because they wanted to show what was going on in the streets and piazzas of the Italy immediately after the war. Contrary to the belief that explains on-location shooting by its supposed lower cost, such filming often cost much more than work in the more easily controlled studios. In the streets, it was never possible to predict lighting, weather, and the unfrozen occurrence of money-wasting disturbances. Economic factors do, however, explain another characteristics of neorealist cinema. It's among universal practice of dubbing the soundtrack in post-production, rather than recording sounds on the supposedly authentic locations. Perhaps the most original characteristics of the neorealism in film was the brilliant use of non-professional actors by Rossellini, De Sica, and Visconti. Of many of the films accepted as neorealist dependent upon excellent performances by seasoned professional actors. Let's look at some of the major films of the Italian neorealism movement. Ossessione. Ossessione is based on the 1934 novel The Postman Always Rings Twice by James M. Cain. Luciano Visconti's first feature film, it's considered by many to be the first Italian neorealist film. Set in the flatlands of the Po Delta, traces the love affair between an itinerant laborer and the restless wife of a trattoria owner, which leads to the murder of the bourgeois husband. Rome Open City. Rome Open City was one of the first films to be produced outside of Cinecittà after the war. The film struggled in production while being shot just months after Italy was declared open from Nazi occupation. Rome Open City was Rossellini's first anti-fascist film. The film accurately reflected the moral and psychological atmosphere of the immediate post-war period that alerted the world to the advent of Italian neorealism. With a daring combination of styles and moods, Rossellini captured the tension and the tragedy of Italian life under German occupation and the partisan struggle out of which the new Italian Republic was subsequently born. The film is recognized today as one of Italy's most important films. Paisan. Paisan reflects to a far greater extent and conventions of the newsreel documentary, tracking in 6 separate episodes the Allied invasion of Italy and its slow process through the peninsula. Far more than Rome Open City, Paisan seemed to be offer an entirely novel approach to film realism. The Bicycle Thief. Vittorio De Sica's undoubted masterpiece, The Bicycle Thief is a landmark film for the neorealist movement, perhaps the most iconic and enduring of the movement's film. The film stands out with its parabolic, intimate story that follows a father and son's desperate search for a lost bicycle across a post-war Italy. The film's foundation lies in the instruction of its morals that an eye for an eye makes the world go blind. This was also a film that symbolized many of the values of Italian neorealist films, including shooting entirely on location and casting all amateur actors. The lead actor, Lamberto Maggiorani, was a factory worker. His son, played by Enzo Sataiola, was cast after De Sica observed him watching the show. There are so many other great movies out there which was associated with neorealist movement. In one video is not enough to discuss each and every movie in detail. So let's have a look at the names of those films. La Terra Terma, Germany Year Zero, Suicide, Francisco Giuliani di Dio, Umberto D, La Dolce Vita, La Strada, Il Teto, Il Posto, Riso Amaro, Miracle in Milan, Bellissima. Italian neorealism also had a worldwide impact as a model for an oppositional cinema against the Hollywood commercial cinema. The working methods of neorealism offered a way to produce films without large financial resources. The stories of common men, often played by non-professional actors, inspired filmmakers in Europe such as directors of the French New Wave School of the late 1950s and early 1960s, campaigned by critic André Bazin, who were heavily influenced by Rossellini's Paisan. Jean-Luc Godard, Francis Truffaut, Jacques Rivette, Eric Rohmer embraced new realism as proof that filmmaking could be possible without a huge industrial structure behind it, and that filmmakers could be as creative as novelists. Neorealism's influence can also be seen in the Cinema Novo of Brazil, the Free Cinema of Britain, the Nova Velna of Czechoslovakia, the Third Cinema of Argentina, in Egyptian neorealism, the Mexican films of Buñuel such as Los Olvidados, and even to the present day, in the films from which emerging cinemas in countries with extremely strict censorship codes, for example, Turn of the Millennium Iran. It also influenced film directors of India's parallel cinema movement, including Satyajit Ray and Bimal Roy, both heavily influenced by Vittorio De Sica's Bicycle Thieves. Film director Martin Scorsese has stated many times that one of the biggest influences in his work was the Italian neorealism period in Italy. His personal documentary, My Way to Italy, is a journey through Italian cinema history and marking influential films. Before concluding the video, let's look at some of the key figures of this movement. Roberto Rossellini, Vittorio De Sica, Cesar Giavattini, Luciano Visconti, Giuseppe De Santis, Suso Cecchi Di Amico, Federico Fellini, Bruno Caruso, Michelangelo Antonioni. The last word on this goes to Fellini. He agreed in principle. He said that with the neo-realist idea of taking films from life, but he redefined it for himself as looking at reality with an honest eye. But any kind of reality, not just social reality, but also spiritual reality, metaphysical reality, anything man has inside him. Fellini taps into the essence of neorealism. The reason the films of that particular era still appeal, and the reason they continue to inspire, they address the human condition, which despite technological advances and special effects, remains very much what it was when these filmmakers took to the streets and captured what surrounded them. So that's all for today. I hope you all will learn something new from this video. Share your opinions in the comment box below. See you in the next video with an interesting topic related to cinema. Until then, stay healthy, stay safe, and be creative.